In the past few years at the Olive Fertility Center, we've offered comprehensive chromosome screening, or CCS, as an option for patients going through in vitro fertilization. CCS can help improve your chance of having a healthy baby through IVF. CCS is a test that we can do in the very early stages of your IVF treatment to determine if your embryo contains a normal number of chromosomes. Healthy embryos should have 23 pairs of chromosomes. Some benefits of CCS include pregnancy rates of 70% or more, reduced miscarriage rates of less than 10%, minimized risk for chromosomal conditions like Down syndrome, the option for storing chromosomally healthy embryos for future use. So, what is a chromosome? A chromosome is a package of DNA found in every cell of the body. DNA is our body's recipe for how we grow and develop. It carries genetic information in the form of genes. Humans have 23 pairs of chromosomes for a total of 46. One set comes from the biological mother and one set coming from the biological father. Why test the chromosomes of an embryo? Typically in IVF, we have chosen embryos based on appearance. But it turns out that the traditional technique for selecting what looks like the best embryos is a bit like judging a book by its cover. Even embryos that look perfect on the outside may not be chromosomally normal. CCS is a test that lets us look inside the book to see if the embryo has the right number of chromosomes to develop into a healthy baby. So what happens if an embryo with the wrong number of chromosomes is transferred? If the embryo has too few or too many copies of any particular chromosome, then it cannot develop normally. The embryo can fail to implant, result in a miscarriage, or result in a baby with a condition like Down syndrome. What exactly is involved in CCS? Well, let's go through the initial stages of IVF and show the CCS process. Step 1. The eggs are removed from the ovary and fertilized in the lab. Step 2. Embryos are grown to the blastocyst stage, which takes 5 to 6 days. Most eggs will not survive to the blastocyst stage. Step 3. A highly trained Olive Fertility embryologist then carefully extracts 5 to 10 cells from the part of the embryo that will later become the placenta. Step 4. The embryo is frozen and remains at Olive, and the extracted placental cells are sent to a special lab for chromosomal screening. Step 5. Test results come back in 10 to 14 days. As soon as we know the results, we will contact you. Step 6. The chromosomally healthy embryos are thawed and transferred in a future cycle. Who can benefit from CCS? The simple answer is that CCS can improve the odds for success for anyone going through IVF. But in particular, CCS can significantly improve your chances of having a healthy pregnancy if you are older than 35, you have previously experienced a miscarriage, you have previously been unsuccessful with IVF. As useful as CCS is in giving us information about whether the embryo has the right number of chromosomes, it is important to know CCS has limitations. What are the limitations of CCS? CCS can't tell us everything about the embryo. It only counts the number of chromosomes. But even when embryos are identified as normal by CCS, this does not guarantee a pregnancy or a healthy live birth. CCS does not detect single gene conditions like cystic fibrosis, multifactorial conditions like autism, or problems with the uterus that may prevent implantation. Another important thing to know is that the results of CCS aren't black and white. There can be a number of different outcomes to the test. So what type of results may your doctor or counselor call you with? They might tell you that your embryo has the healthy number of chromosomes, 46. These are called euploid embryos, and they have the best chance of developing into a healthy baby. They might tell you that the embryo has too few or too many copies of any particular chromosome. These are called aneuploid and cannot develop into a healthy baby. They might tell you that you have a mosaic embryo. Mosaic embryos have some cells with the normal chromosome number and some cells with the abnormal chromosome number. There are many possible outcomes associated with transferring a mosaic embryo. Your doctor will discuss this in more detail with you before taking the test. They might also tell you, in rare cases, that the results are inconclusive because of degraded DNA. These embryos can be retested. Multiple studies have demonstrated that CCS can improve IVF outcomes. It may be more relevant for some patients than others. We want to provide you with all of the pertinent information so that you can make an informed decision. Please talk to your doctor if you have more questions.